Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. So the video today, in this lovely weather, is on this 2015 Jeep Renegade. I don't know if it's how you pronounce it. And I've literally just finished to install that aftermarket parking sensors on the Vauxhall. I haven't done a video for it, but there's a little bit of a mess. That's why I have the jacks in there. It's not for this car, although I don't know if I'm going to need them or not. But now the issue with this car is the following. I noticed all the problems with it, but I was not asked to look at it. I can only point it to the owner, and if he wants me to do something about it, we will do. But the only thing I was asked to look at is this. Now, I haven't drove the car, so I can't really show you, or I can't really say if he's doing that or not. But I was sent this picture here. Let me put it like that. This picture here, and apparently that's what the car is coming up with. So, we're going to do a quick scan on it, and we'll try to understand what's wrong. But guys, I don't know, if you pay really attention to this thing, I've seen a couple things that you might gonna, well, it's a little bit dark, but I've noticed a couple things already that we might gonna have to get to it before we do anything. Now, if the car needs what I think it needs, I'm not gonna be able to do it here anyway, but there is something we're gonna be able to do, because otherwise, even if he needs to do the second thing, it's not gonna work if we don't fix the first one. I know it's a little bit confusing. You will understand everything in a minute. So let's gonna scan it, and I'll show you exactly what the car is complaining about. Okay, key on. So let's gonna try to give the scan to this. If I recall correctly, I think that's gonna be here. Is it gonna be here? Let me see if it is. No, it's not. Okay, so will that be part of the body, maybe? Body controller, drivetrain. I think there's something missing. You know what? Let's gonna do another scan and I wait for the results. Found it now. Is the adaptive cruise control. That's what it is. There is also other faults that I've seen with this, for example, but that doesn't matter. Now we're going to go onto here. What I wanted to look at is that code, which is C1417-78, stored code, horizontal misalignment sensor, horizontal misalignment sensor alignment adjustment incorrect. Now, looking at this, you'd think, okay, maybe the system needs to go on the rig and get calibrated. Now, if that needs to be done, which I believe will have to be done at the end, I cannot do it. Although the MaxiSys can do it if you have the rig, which is something like this, you can actually do align ADAS, whatever, systems with the MaxiSys, but unfortunately I don't have that rig, so I can't do it. But the first thing I've noticed, guys, was as I was inspecting the car around, I've seen a couple things, and I've seen, for example, this is misaligned here. I don't know if you can see, but it is. Then as I was looking around, I've seen this here. This is bent a little bit, and then I thought, the sensors on this, when you look at the car, is, I never worked on one, but I thought to myself, I think the sensors are going to be on these covers here. And when I look on this cover, I know you can't really see it at the moment. Perhaps if I get the flash you can. These security cable ties. And I thought, that's strange. So I pulled it here. And I've seen this. Really? Oh man. What a joke. What a joke. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull that one out as well, because I want to see roughly what the orientation is on that sensor, and we're going to try to fabricate some sort of bracket, some sort of system to hold this in the correct place. And now I'm literally screwed because there's nothing on that side. I thought it would be one on each side. Maybe that for some other systems, maybe for, I don't know. Oh, this is broken as well, the bumper. Oh, the bumper is not in place, as you can see there. Oh, okay. Right, so I'm gonna have to Google some photos, see if I can figure out how these were supposed to be hold it in place, the angle and all that good stuff. Try to understand how this should be. Okay, look into the light. Hey, right, sometime later bumper is out, and we're going to take the opportunity now to clip the bumper properly when I showed you earlier. I'll show you that at the end, hopefully. I found these here unplugged. I think these clips here, but I don't know where this is supposed to go. I just really don't know, unless it's for something that is not installed on this car. The wire is not in place. Might have to. Okay, so okay, so this is the bracket. Which is riveted right there. Okay, so this bracket is supposed to be riveting there. Something like that. No, it's the other way around. Okay, so this, we can easily rivet this back in there. It's not really a problem. Is then the bracket, this bracket, that's broken, because this bracket looks like it does have some sort of adjustment, at least in there, you see. So I might have to see if I can get this bracket, because I think this would have two adjustments. Would it be like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this is supposed to adjust here. Looks like there's something else missing here as well. These we can definitely get riveted again. I don't think this is screwed in there because because you have no access to anything from above to screw that in, so that really looks like rivets to me. Yeah, that's just riveted into this, that's all. We can rivet that quite easily, to be fair. So let me just see how that bracket is supposed to look and see what we can do. Okay, so to fix the bit of the bumper I showed you at the start that was not clipped in properly, when I've clipped it in, these little tabs here, they didn't really hold in place because they were all deformed. So what I've done, I clipped them in, and then I've drilled a little hole and I put a screw here from this part of the bumper to the plastic tab that comes in to hold everything in place. One there and one there, and I will show you then at the end that it is actually quite good, hold it in place. Now we have another problem, because I literally rang Jeep, a really helpful guy in there, and I just couldn't believe this. So after a little bit of discussion and going through diagrams, he emailed me a few pictures, and basically Jeep, listen to this, they sell this, which is rivet in there. So they sell these and the rivets separately. They sell the 3 plastic clips that goes in here, okay, but this plastic bracket is part of the sensor. I mean, it's not part of the sensor, but it's sold along with the sensor. They don't sell these separately, and this is these little sort of bolts with this sort of ball at the end that clips in here, like that. No, like that maybe. Or like that. I think it's like this. Yeah, So it should be like this. Then you should have another bolt here in this corner, another bolt in this corner, and the sensor, if you remember, the sensor was bolted in like this, and the sensor on the car was like this, and the sensor is actually like this. So it goes here like this. So they don't sell the bracket, and I don't know how we're gonna do this. I just really don't know. The sensor with the bracket is about £500, and yeah, I'm not sure how we're gonna play this. I'll have to think about it. And literally just purchased what I think is gonna work. Stay tuned and I will show you all in due course. But for now, there's nothing else I can do on this because there is no parts. All I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna put the bumper back on. I'm just gonna isolate those plugs so water doesn't get into it and take these out of the way. And I don't know if I'm willing to do anything else today. It's cold and I've been poorly for the last few days. So 10 to 5. I have the Porsche at the back. I might bring the Porsche here and I will see what I can do with it, maybe. Anyway, that's enough for this video. What am I talking about? So yeah, so I think I've sorted this problem, kind of. Let's just wait for the parts to arrive, and then we'll hopefully complete this. And sometime later, sometime after I've actually finished the SRT that you can see right there in the corner, just finish it off. Came from a test drive, everything's good. Anyway, that's nothing to do with this. So after all of this is like a week later now, I got the bits that I've just mentioned on the previous clip. Now, obviously, as I said, and just a very quick recap, Chrysler would sell that metal bracket that we have in there in the corner. I don't need that bracket. They even sell the rivets separately. But the bracket is already in place, not with rivets, but I'll show you in a second. They sell that bracket, they sell the rivets, but then the bracket to hold the actually sensor, they don't sell separately. As I said, they sell this bracket as part of this. So my next line of thinking was, surely Bosch, this is from Bosch, surely Bosch doesn't make these sensors just for Chrysler or for Jeep. Surely this goes into other cars. So I start to search, and indeed it goes. It goes on Volkswagens, it goes on Hondas, and some other cars. So I start to think, can I get the bracket for these other cars? And a quick eBay search. Look what I found. Now, I'll show you in a second what it is, but before that, let me just put some light and we're gonna start to go through all of this. So first things first, the bracket is now in place, okay? And I didn't use rivets because, well, I could get them from, as I said, from Jeep, but the rivets, the biggest rivets I have, they are not big enough for this, because with the impact, as the rivets pulled from this, they actually ripped a little bit the thingy, so I had to hammer these back in on the crush bar because it was all like sort of coming off. Hammer it, then with a needle file I leveled it a little bit, and but yeah, it's pretty much good, as you can see. And what I've done, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, not really, can you see in there? Maybe you can. Well done. So that's what I've done, with 2 bolts, 2 nuts, and a few washers. I hold these in place. It's not going to go anywhere, and it's pretty solid. As I said, guys, from there I was looking to see which other cars would use this. Once I start to find other cars that use the exact same sensor, I've started to look for the brackets for those other cars. And eventually, after comparing a lot of pictures from Google, from the original bracket and other brackets, I found these on eBay. Okay, so as you can see, pretty similar. Even comes with the blast, with the 3 plastic inserts that goes on the metal bracket. So it comes the full kit. I've looked at the pictures as much as I could from a few Google searches from the Volkswagen bracket and the Jeep bracket. They look identical, but we're going to be able to prove that very soon if they fit or not. So what we do have here is this. There we go, is this. And we have the 3 plastics and the 2 adjustable threaded pins that goes in there. So this little sort of ball at the end goes in there, clips in there. Well, we're going to put everything in place and then I will show you exactly what it does. And I'm literally doing the last one, but I'm just going to show you how these clips goes in. These plastic inserts, really easy. You just put them like this. So they go like so. Let's see. Do this one hand. Go like this. Okay. And now, see if I can show you. You go with a 17mm on the back side, and you just twist it. There we go. Done. So now it's time to put the bracket with the sensor, but I'm gonna try to clean. Someone has been putting glue on this thing. This was glue all over the place. I don't know if someone has been trying to glue this in the past. I'm just gonna try to take these off because I don't know if this impacts the sensor somehow. So we're gonna give it a gentle, perhaps sanding. Maybe try to remove this or just scrape it. Maybe, because I don't want this to affect the way the sensor reads. Although there is way more to this than just put it back in place and off you go. But I'll get to that later. So now the sensor. So the way the sensor clips into the bracket, I don't know if you can see these 2 like sort of grooves here. There's one here and one on the other side. Okay, and then you have, I had to take a little bit more glue because there's a little bit of glue on this side, I was messing things up a little bit, but as you can see, and then on the sensor you have these little 2 pins here. So these pins, the way this works is you slide these like so, you see, so this pin slides in there, right there, okay, and now this pin slides under this tab and clips in there. So there we go. That's how it holds the sensor in place, okay? So perfect. Now the pins, they go here, like so. Now I'm gonna guess, not sure if that's the way, but it should be. That one goes there. Let's try to put them all the same, roughly, give or take. And now, this should go in here. Oh, perfect. Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect. And now we can take this tape off. Way. And that's it. That's how you secure the sensor in place. Now you have these 2 points that you can adjust the sensor. So you can adjust the sensor this way or that way. Now there is a wall shebang that needs to be done now. You can't just obviously I can put everything back on, but now the sensor needs calibrating. Now there is one thing I can do, but that's only half of the job. Because I don't do this kind of stuff, like calibration of these sensors, I'm not too clued, but I do believe the first thing, like a starting point if you will, you need to level the sensor, and the sensor leveling is done with something like this, which you clip into the sensor and then you level the sensor to the right level, if that makes sense. and then and that's done with the car on a flat surface, which I'm going to do that. I know a place where I can go flat the car and level that. Just at the end of the road there's a place where I can do that, and I don't have this tool though. So this tool, I don't have it, but I have another plan on how I'm going to level the sensor. Look, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but it will do the job for now. And then what the owner's going to have to do is obviously do the proper alignment. Is a whole shebang to do the alignment on these things. You need to be on a flat surface. You need some plumps to check the center of the rear wheels, I believe, the front of the car. Then you need to put the target or the mirror 120 centimeters away from the car, completely aligned with the parallel with the front of the car, and that's why you need the center of the rear wheels to align the whole thing. So the mirror can't be like this or like this, it needs to be 100% aligned with the front of the car. Then you put the target in front of the car. The target does have a few angles you need to change, and then as you put on different angles, you just follow the procedure on the tool, and the car will send a beam into that mirror, measures it, and then tells you how much you need to move the sensor up or down on those screws. That's the way it's done. Obviously, guys, I don't have that. All I'm going to do on this video now is I'm going to level the sensor, as I said, because I'm going to do it at the end of the road while it's not raining too much. I can actually show how I'm going to just kind of level the sensor. So obviously, guys, it's not going to be here, as I said. It needs to be on a flat surface, but this is roughly how I'm going to try to level the sensor, just for a starting point, okay? This is not the right way to do it, but this is how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to put this here front of the sensor, and then with this I will take the level of the sensor, okay? Obviously it's the same thing as the tool, just a different way of doing it. So that's what we're going to do, just for a starting point, and then I'm guessing we're going to go for a test drive just to see what the car does, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be right, and the whole thing will need obviously aligning, calibrating and all that good stuff. All done. So obviously I inflated the tires properly first, but when in there, and as you can see here, I leveled the sensor to the best as I could on a level surface. Again, guys, this is just a starting point. From here the car is going to need a calibration, but there's nothing I can do for that. It's going to have to go either to Jeep or to someone with the knowledge and the equipment to do this calibration. The Maxi can actually do these calibrations if you have the targets and the rig and all that good stuff. I don't have it, so, and first time I really had to do anything like this, or I came across something like this, so definitely is going to have to go elsewhere. But that's now is going to be easier because everything is proper secured the way it should be, and it's going to be easier to do, or it's going to be eventually possible to do with no other problems. So for now, all we're going to do is put the bumper back in, and then obviously I'm going to go for a test drive. Just want to see what the car does, clear the faults, and that's it nearly for this video. So I'll be very surprised if the ACC is going to work just based on how I put the sensor. Most likely it's not going to work, but it'll be interesting just to go and see what happens. So everything's in place, and I think it looks much better than it was before with two screws here. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it is definitely better. So now let's gonna go for a test drive. Wait, that's a lot of glare. Right, so and because I had the module disconnected and I drove the car back and forth to do the SRT8, we have loads of faults, as you can see. So we're just going to clear everything. There is one fault that remains, which is the tire pressure. I think there is something wrong with the tire pressure. We might going to look at that later, because when I do this, you see the info just says low tire and available, but there is no readings from any of the tires. Don't know if there's any sort of reset, or when I was inflating the tires, it looks to me like one of the valves is not the one with the sensor pressure, with the pressure sensor. Maybe I'm wrong. but that's why it seemed to me. So let's gonna clear the codes and then go from there. Okay, and after resetting the pressures, or actually after deleting all the codes, actually the pressures all came back. So maybe just needed clear codes. The front left is a 2.4. I think that's going to be wrong because I've set all the tires at 2.7, so they all should be at 2.7. I'm hoping that when I start to drive, that will just change to whatever needs to be, and it's going to reset itself. So we're going to go for a drive, and I'm going to try the ACC. Let me see actually, how do you... Oh, the cruise control is on the steering. Okay, so that's turning on. Okay, right, let's gonna go for a quick drive and try to see what happens. So I don't know how good it comes on the screen. The cruise control is definitely working, so I'm 55 kilometers per hour. Don't know why this is in kilometers. That doesn't matter. It's set at 55 if I go up on the steering. So I don't know if you can see here on the side. Probably can't really see here on the screen. On this side right there, it's showing 61 kilometers per hour now. Obviously I haven't tried the ACC yet. I don't even know if there is something to turn it on, or cruise control off, cruise control ready. Okay, so I don't see nothing to turn it on and off. So I'm gonna try to go onto the left, because if I go to the left, cruise control cancelled because I pressed the brake pedal. Whoa. Okay, so ideally I'll get behind these cars coming. So cruise control off, done, cruise control ready. Let's see if I can get behind that car. So okay, so I don't know if you've seen, so he's reading definitely the, look, when I go on this bend on the side of the road, look, you see, telling me that I'm there. So now I'm in the middle of the road. Let's see if I can go a little bit faster. Let me see if I go to the middle of the road, see what he does. There we go. He's telling me I'm in the middle. He's working fine. Let me get behind those cars. 90 kilometers per hour. 94. Okay, I'm getting closer to the car in front. Let me see what the car does. Let me put my feet over the brake pedal just in case. My foot, hold on. Let me see what happens. Getting closer and closer. So I'm definitely getting closer. No, I don't think it would stop. Nope, it wouldn't stop. Definitely it wouldn't stop. Right, so I don't know, do I need to enable? There's something there on that side. I don't know what that's for. I don't know if there is. Let me have a look. So cruise control ready. How the hell do you... Right, I'm such an idiot. Yeah. So any of you that actually own one of these with the active cruise control, you have probably spotted it right at the start. Hold on, because the guy to collect the SRT, I think, oh no, I thought he was there, the guy to collect the SRT, but no, it's like a delivery or something like that. Anyway, yeah, there is a delivery. All done. Right, let's kind of park here and we'll explain you everything. Okay, and let me explain you why I said I'm such an idiot, and why any of you that owns one of these cars might have spotted straight away at the start of the video that whatever we would do to that sensor, these would never work. Now, interestingly enough, the car is not complaining for any faults. There's only a fault on the body control module, because I didn't even realize before I left home, and if you can see by the low beam on this side is faulty. It might just be a bulb a bulb, but doesn't really matter. But there is no faults, including on the ACC. I've been driving around, as you've seen, and no faults at all for misalignment or whatever, or calibration or whatever that was. Now the way this works is when you select active cruise control, when the car, the camera, etc. is seeing everything properly, so when the car is actually seeing the road markings and all that stuff, the drawing of the car becomes green. This one and this one here at the top, which I believe this one at the top, I might be wrong, I'm not sure about why that one shows in there. Might be for when you are not on this menu, you can still see when the system is active or deactivated. Well, it's not active or deactivated, it's just that when the system is ready and the cameras are seeing everything the way they should. But to activate the cruise control, obviously the normal cruise control, as I've showed you, press there, blah 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 blah. But once the cruise control is active, to actually activate the active cruise control, we should have a button here. I don't know if you should have two buttons, but I know for a fact you should have one button here. I didn't know that at the start. Only now I thought, how the hell you activate this? So a quick Google search, and I start to see that people were saying, press that button, and I thought, I don't have that button. Oh no. So clearly, guys, what I think happened is the car was on an accident, the steering wheel airbag deployed. For some reason, maybe someone just replaced the entire steering wheel rather than just replace the airbag, and now we don't have this button here. So, oh well, what can I do? So for now, the guy's gonna need, if he really wants this to really work the way he should, he's gonna need this, and he's gonna need to calibrate the system. Right, a little bit of an awkward video because we ended up not fixing it, not even be able to try it to see what the car would do before calibration. But sometimes it is what it is, guys. I don't know everything, and I've just noticed now when I was why people do this anyway. Why people replace parts with the wrong parts? Why did you get a steering wheel for a car that you see the old one has buttons there, and then you get one without the buttons? Honestly, why? I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to dwell much more on this because it is what it is. But I'm hoping that throughout the video, I gave you some information that you guys might find useful. Maybe you learned something, who knows. If you do still have any questions or any comments, you know exactly how it works, just put them right below. And like always, thanks for watching.